course, that the SABC News team is standing by to catch the second batch of Bafana Bafana players who are expected to arrive at any moment now, by the way, at OR Tambo International Airport. But we spotted several other people making their way through those arrival doors. Stacey Holland is part of our team watching developments. And Stacey, who do you have there?
Sure. So as you said,
as we've been mentioning that Bafana Bafana have arrived at OR Tambo International Airport. They have officially qualified for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Everyone has been celebrating over the last couple of hours. We chatted to our coach Hugo Broos earlier on, as well as our captain Ronwen Williams. We just managed to nab our president of the South African Football Association, Mr. Danny Jordaan, as he was about to get into his transport. Thank you, sir, for making the time for us. What was the mood last night? You've been celebrating. Did you manage to get some sleep?
No.
Oh, it was a wonderful celebration.
Yes.
Remind us of the opening match in 2010. Huge celebration. People were jumping, screaming, singing. Of course, the minister particularly enjoyed every moment of it. No, it was an exhilarating experience.
Tell me, Mr. Jordaan, I know that we are celebrating, but the difficult questions are still coming the way and the direction of SAFA about why we were in this position in the first place. Do we have any updates there? I know that we weren't successful in our appeal, but people are asking who is ultimately going to take responsibility for what happened to Bafana Bafana?
Well, we are going to the World Cup, so the matter is closed. We are not interested in the matter. We are going to the World Cup, we've qualified, and that's where we go. We are not going to dwell on what is behind us is behind us. What is in front of us is the World Cup, is the African Cup of Nations. We've spoken, the coach must have told you that we are focusing on now the next point, the African Cup of Nations in Morocco, and then the World Cup. We are preparing the under-17 to go to the World Cup, so we are very busy.
Perhaps then my follow-up question, because it would be remiss of me, is to find out how SAFA is going to better support Bafana Bafana from a staff and administrative perspective to ensure that this is never something that we face again.
There is no complaints about SAFA's support for Bafana, and in fact for all of our teams. Tremendous support. For the first time in the history of South African football, under-17 is going to the World Cup. Under-20 has just been to the World Cup. Banyana has been to 2 consecutive World Cups. And Bafana is going to the World Cup. Bafana is going to AFCON for the 2nd consecutive time. What more do you expect? How many people must we still bring to convince you that they are well-resourced and well-supported?
I'm sure you shared a message of hope for everyone last night to encourage them. What did you say to Bafana Bafana before and after the game?
Well, there was hardly time to make speeches. It was time to celebrate, to sing, to embrace, and just to share the moment. All of the players, they were singing. The president was on the phone giving a message to Bafana, and everybody was just celebrating and singing and enjoying the moment. It was not a time for long speeches. We had many speeches over the 10 matches. It's been a long campaign, a difficult campaign. I remember what happened in Port Harcourt against Nigeria, in Oyo, and we saw what happened in Nigeria now in Bloemfontein, where it was clearly handball. So many things happen in football, and we accept it and we move on.
Dr. Jordaan, just in terms of supporting and resourcing our national teams, all the success on the field, but also we have to worry about commercially, SAFA as an entity. You have to sit and say, are we in a good shape? You know what it takes to run a successful World Cup, but also you understand the investment behind it.
No. We have already made tremendous investment in the teams. We are now focusing on Banyana because they go into AFCON qualifiers, and the under-20 they're going to Qatar for the under-17 World Cup. Under-20 just come back from Chile. So our team has been busy, and it needs a lot of resources. What we are happy about is that the sponsors chase their own brand and support for successful teams. And our team has been successful, never been as successful in the history of SAFA.
Any update on the kit sponsor? How long do you still have with Lecoq? How long is that contract now?
Well, next year, before we go to the World Cup, we'll unveil the kit sponsor. We already signed the contract. Everything is in place, and we are happy with that particular kit sponsor, and we celebrate with them. They have made a tremendous contribution to South African football, helped us to get the World Cup. I worked with them then, so it's nice to bring all partners back. But next year, we are going with Lecoq to the AFCON, and that's where we end that relationship, and then we start a new one next year.
I suppose, Doctor.
Already thinking about life beyond Coach Hugo Bruce, considering just the mandate that was given to him, and it looks like he's ticked the boxes, very important ones. You know, the planning beyond, is that something SAFA has already started thinking about?
That is a very important question, because Hugo Bruce has been an inspiration, the lifeblood of the current success. But he has indicated that at the end of the World Cup, that's when he say goodbye to South African football. We hope to speak to him, but I think we are not going to convince him otherwise. And if that is the case, we do have a staff, and we will have to see, with his consultation, what is the best to not to regress again, but to continue to build as we have the under 20, under 17, and so on. But it's going to be a long search.
Thank you, Dr. Jordaan. I just want to wrap up this show. Ayanda, that's you have it. Dr. Danny Jordaan sharing just what the future is there for SAFA, not giving us any further clarification around how we ended up with the deduction of the 3 points with Teboho Mokoena there. But we are going to grab Spepele Sitole. So do stay tuned for that. I know that I have to hand back to you in studio. We'll be back with you in a very short while.
And we certainly look forward to it. Stacey Holland, thanks very much indeed.